Hello, this is the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
I'm Matt.
and today we are Legion, for we are many. What are we going to be reviewing?
Legion. That thing gives it away. You're doing my name.
This is episode 3 of Legion. So,
I say gives it away. It's got bloody Legion in the title. You know what you're watching, don't you?
yeah. So basically, it starts off with more little kiddie montages. You got the dog bouncing about, and there's a lot of focus on this dog and the sister. Now, speaking of the sister, unfortunately, she has been captured by Division 3, and they are torturing her with leeches.
Yeah.
Horrific. I'm sorry, but come on.
I don't know. I don't get it either. Like, what the leeches do?
I know they must be really. It just must be really unsettling. So they've kind of got her, and they're
because at first, like, as I was watching it at first, I thought it was like a Wrath of Khan thing. You know, like the worms that bug into your head or something. Like something like that. But it's literally just like leeches.
Yeah.
What a letdown. Oh, let's go on.
So yeah. They kind of morphed the opening credits into kind of like just kind of into it. It just kind of carried on, and it just kind of flashed up at the bottom as opposed to having like a definitive opening credit sequence. Like
I preferred it this week, to be honest. I thought it was pretty cool.
I guess it was okay. It's kind of a bit distracting, the big letters on the thing, but I mean, they were just chops in anyway, so I mean, nothing was really happening. So, exploring more of Summerland, kind of, you had the woman whose name I don't know, but the old woman, you know, there's only one. So she's like going to get coffee, and then like the coffee machine starts talking to her, but it's only got like one story. I'll be like, oh my god, could you imagine? Thank god I drink tea, because if I had to get like a cup of coffee and I had to listen to that more than once, I'd be like, sorry. Like, I don't really get the relevance of the story, but I think it's meant to be like poignant or something, because it's talking about some old woman like making really nice fabric, and like they say, yeah, I'll make it for you, but you can't look at me while I'm doing it. And then they look, and it turns out to be like a crane making it, and then it like flies off. It's like, oh, okay then. Like,
yeah, that went over my head as well. I'm sure there's something to it, but what I did clock on to, and it confirmed later in the episode, I figured, is telling you more about her character. I knew it had to have been either a husband or a son or a brother or something, like someone had died, and this is their voice, and it's her way of keeping them around.
yeah, but telling that same story, didn't he tell no other stories?
I don't know.
I'll be like,
maybe it's her favourite one.
Could you imagine like being there and that you're trying to you kind of in therapy, because it is kind of like pretty much Xavier's School for Gifted Children, but like in a forest.
Yeah, and for older people.
For who?
Older people. They're not kids, are they?
Yeah, but like for anyone really.
I don't see any kids around.
They could all be teachers. I think I see a couple young ones. So yeah. I'm sorry, but that coffee machine is like annoying. Like, why would you program it with just one voice and one story? Even
I don't think that what he's saying really matters. I think she just wants to hear his voice.
Do you think it like does that with everything? Like, say you go for a shower and it just starts telling you a random story about something. I'll be like, yo,
no.
Switch off. It's kind of like a really bad Gideon from The Flash. So yeah.
Gideon's already a bad Gideon.
Yeah, so they this was a funny moment. So David was doing more of his therapy, and he was delving into his memories of what happened when he blew the kitchen up, so they're all like astounded, like, oh, as well as telepathy you also have telekinesis. Really, like, she says it in like a really hammy way. She's like, oh, you can move objects with your mind. It's like, why not just say telekinesis? It sounds
Because
cooler.
not everybody knows what that means, though.
Oh, dude, come on, knock it off.
I
Not
think,
if
dude, come on. Not everybody watches superhero crap and knows what telekinesis means. The show on FX is tangentially connected to the X-Men. A lot of people could watch it and have no idea what that means.
okay, so why did I say put telepathy then? Why
I
wouldn't
don't
I
know,
just say
because they've
mind
explained that.
reading?
Because they've explained that previously. There's
Come
2
on.
episodes to figure out that.
Come
Everyone
on,
knows he can do that.
come on, you know
You've got
yourself.
TV writing 101. You got to explain things before you can start bloody talking about them.
Yeah, but telekinesis, I think it's just the way she says it. I think she's just like, objects. It's just like, you could have said that much better. So that for me was
God,
let down.
Stanislavski over here.
It was let down dialogue. So yeah, it kind of explains leading up to him blowing up the kitchen, having an argument with the girl. Now this was the weirdest thing ever. Like, he's on the floor monging out, and like, she comes in with the cake. You got her friend like crawling about on a thing, and it's like, "Bleh," like that. You know what I mean? It's like, Peter. It's like, yo, Pete and whoever are coming round for dinner. And then like, you got him literally lying on the floor, propping his head up on the chair like that, like drawling and like barely getting his words out. And like, she didn't know he was a junkie. It's like, it took her to grab the thing and be like, oh, she didn't know. The kind of memory people were like, oh, you're a junkie and you got caught. It's like, well, what did she think was going on? If like, the frog wasn't there pumping out the drugs and stuff like that, and say they put it in a cupboard and they were just like monging out on the floor, what would the girlfriend thought would be going on? Does he randomly just like lay about on the floor and like slur his words?
Well, he's clearly a weird dude, isn't he?
Yeah, it was jokes when Aubrey Plaza was like eating the cake and she was like, put the reptile down. So yeah, I'm surprised he didn't really just get with her, but yeah, it was kind of doing little flashes of her again. It kind of didn't really explain anything, really, because they were like trying to get to the root cause of like how that argument started, and then like, again, doors were shut and he wasn't letting them in, and then there's like, no, I'm not doing anything. So it's kind of like subliminal mental doors shutting.
Right, and the guy who goes into the dream, so I forget his name as well, the dream jumping guy.
I don't think he has a name.
He does. He mentioned it last week. I can't remember what it was, but
He doesn't have a name.
compared to last week, he's getting frustrated. Like, he was getting really annoyed with David. Like, I thought last week, I thought he was quite a cool Zen guy. This week, like, he's about to just punch dude in the face, like, let me in, stop fighting me.
I think he's not used to that happening. I guess, you know what I mean. He's not used to like people more powerful or being able to suppress what he can do.
But at one point, though, maybe that was, he literally said at one point, "What are you?" As if, like, I get that he's freaked out, but you're meant to be helping this dude. That's not going to help, is it? You're not going to point your finger and call him a freak.
Yeah. So, like, this was kind of weird because I swear she said like her husband name was Walter or something like that, and then I vaguely remember her saying like that I was called Walter. Maybe I'm like tripping, but I swear I heard that. I really did swear I heard that. What do you mean, what? So like her husband's like the guy with the milky eye or whatever?
Oh, I don't think so.
Or they just happen to have the same name. Oh yeah, another thing as well, like, do you know the doctor guy who was like running the test last time, the one with the glasses? He is weird, man. Like, do you see him like standing around like proper like with the glasses and stuff like that? And again, like, I don't know whether it was like art direction or I imagined it, but didn't like the like, you know, the pretty girl, like, she was fighting, she was beating against this like wooden stick thing, and then I swear she kind of morphed into him. Like, did I imagine seeing that or what? Like, do you know his like little assistant? I swear she kind of
Oh yeah.
walked and then she kind of vanished into him.
You know, I didn't see that, but maybe. Like, I don't know what. I assume everyone there's got a power.
Yeah, because it was really weird, and I was just like, oh, so she just like vanished into him. So I mean, she was kind of doing the same stuff as well. She was kind of standing around taking the same pose. So whether I imagined her or not,
Because that
but
might explain that thing where
he was,
sometimes it seems like she's not there.
and like
Because,
he was talking to himself, wasn't he? Remember when he was
right,
doing the test and he was like, oh yeah, I'm talking to, I can't remember his name either, but they do
yeah,
only mention it once.
because they had a thing like that the first week. This episode, um, he passed that thing to me, and the blonde, the girlfriend, was like, "You talking to me?" And then suddenly she pops out of nowhere saying, "No, you're talking to me." So maybe that is part of their thing. Maybe they're connected somehow. I don't know.
That would be pretty interesting. But yeah, he's a weird guy. So he again kind of teleports. They're kind of doing tests on him again, and then he kind of starts flying, which was pretty cool. Or telekinetically levitating, I guess you'd put it out, whether you class that as fighting. Like the same as like Magneto does with his magnet power. So he's levitating on the ground, and then he kind of walk like massive flash of light, and then he turns, like he becomes incorporeal, and him and Sid are like watching the girl being tortured, and like the vision through a light to the sister. You know he's not crazy, don't you? And they were like, you were aware that he wasn't like schizophrenic, he just had powers. And the girl and the sister was just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I kind of feel bad for her. I kind of want it to be saved, because it's like, not that I care about the character, but it's just like, yo, leave her alone. She don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're probably onto something. I think she probably did have the feeling that he was something more than crazy.
But what does that resolve? Still, what's the point? There's no point in torturing
You know,
her. She's like, oh yeah, I see him move a plate once, and it's like, oh okay then. It's
the
like,
point is, I think the point's to lure him there.
yeah, I think they're trying to make out that it's like dangerous and stuff like that to try and get her to like work with them. I think that's kind of their goal, but it's really like convoluted. You kind of have flashes of his past as well, like he was going out trick or treating, and again with that the angriest boy in the world thing, except this time it was actually like a person with like the biggest head, like a Halloween costume. You know what I mean? Because the dog
Mm-hmm.
runs off and then he goes, and then it's like, I think that's meant to be like a metaphor for something, but I can't figure out what it is yet, because it's like the booky like childhood story about go to bed, the kid turn red and then cuts the mum's head off, and it kind of visited that a lot. And then it had kind of like he was scared of like whether it was just like it was literally out trick or treating, and like this is like a like I don't get, like the book's making me nervous. See, this program's annoying because there's a lot of things that don't make sense that like that will be explained, but they won't be explained for like episodes down the line. It's kind of annoying in a real good way. It's like, I want to know what the significance of this boy is, the angriest boy in the world book, and I know what this thing with the yellow eyes is and stuff like that. And it's kind of like really annoying that I'm not going to get the answers to it. But like, so yeah, literally you had the weird little angriest boy in the world cosplay, like, and that's what messed him up, what got him scared. And then again it flashed to like the guy reading him the story. Now his kind of silhouette actually looks like David. I was thinking they were going to flash and David would be reading the book, because it looked a lot like him. So I mean, in terms of like issues and stuff like that, it's bringing up the issues again, but it's offering no explanation at all. So literally we're still no further knowing what's going on. So then they decide to get answers by sedating him and then doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I like,
Which led to the dream sequence. Yeah,
yeah, gone then.
probably the most in depth we've got in his head so far. So where did they first go? in his head. I think, did they go back to the kitchen?
No, they're out in the street, weren't they? They're out in the
That's what he
street.
he was a little kid.
Yeah, it's like the little kid, because it's like that's the only thing active because it's sedated. So little kid and Sid, that rhymes, hugs, and it's all like such a sweet moment. It's like, is he aware of that? Like when he
No,
wakes
I
up,
don't
is he
think
aware
so.
they hugged? Because it's like, I don't really know what the point of that was, but like our powers don't work in the dream. So it's like, oh, so if you want to like do anything, just kind of go in the dream. Yeah, because you had like Aubrey Plaza pushing him down the street in the little in the shopping trolley. So yeah, then they kind of. Can you remember what happened? What the other
When
dreams?
they start traveling through his head, looking at different things. We see the kitchen scene again, but it seems something different this time though. Because remember when we see the kitchen scene this time, he's wearing different clothes.
Yeah,
Like he's fully clothed now, having a full-on argument. So
I think he's with his sister as well. I don't think it was
maybe
like the girlfriend. It was like the sister, and like then you saw the thing with the yellow eyes, and that was like shutting down the doors and like no access and stuff like that. Like
right,
that.
and everyone started to freak out, and it became like a monster movie
You,
with it chasing after them through the dream, right?
yeah, and then
And Sid went off with the little version of David.
yeah,
And then who was he having sex with?
I guess the girlfriend.
Was it the girlfriend or
Yeah,
was it the Aubrey Plaza?
yeah, that's what I was trying to look at, but I'm just kind of guessing it was. Does it really matter who was humping and that? Get that kid out of
Maybe.
there. What?
Maybe I couldn't really make out, but so she gets the kid, but what intrigued me was the old woman gets her hand done in right
Yeah, by that book
in the
again.
dream.
Yeah.
So can you die in the dream or not?
I don't know. It must have really. I think the power of his mind must make it real vivid because it's interesting because she gets out of the dream like straight away and then she smacks the pillow and he wakes up, and it's interesting that the dream guy wakes up straight away, but like the woman's still trapped in there. So I mean, yeah, they're going through the house, and then again you see the angriest boy in the world like chasing Sid and little little David. So she like tells him like, yo, get us out of here or whatever, and then she ends up being free. She wakes up the dream guy, and like the dream guy's just like, ugh, wakes up straight away. The old woman's wandered off. She's still in the dream. She's wandered off. She goes in the cupboard and again she finds that book. So I'm pretty sure that's really integral. Like, I don't think it's actually like a book. I think it's like a metaphor for something. So yeah, so she opens the book and then you flash again. I think like this big orange guy's like protecting him somehow, but like not in a good way. Like, because he's shutting that stuff down in his head, making sure no one can access it. So
Maybe you hear. Um, I can't claim to know about the real life version of it, but normally in film and TV depictions of schizophrenia and whatnot, they have a personality that's bad, but is really in place there to protect the others. So we'll do the evil crap. Like I won't spoil it, but Split has something similar that does come out. So is that the aspect of his personality that does the ugly stuff, and he shuts off anything that David shouldn't remember.
It's interesting because you actually get a first like full body look at him and that, and it's kind of like he's got the big up chin, he's got the yellow eyes, and he's kind of got a balding kind of strands of hair on his head,
Mm-hmm.
like kind of a comb over thing going on. So it's interesting whether that's actually meant to depict someone he knows or whatever. So yeah, she opens up the book, she's reading it, and then it slams shut and mangles her hand, and then the yellow-faced guy appears again.
Yeah. So, but her hand was fine though in the real world. So, I guess it's not like like a Freddy Krueger thing where he kills you in the dream, then you die in the real world as well.
No, I think whether it's meant to be as a deterrent, like a measure so you don't go poking through his head or something, but yeah, I think the power of his mind and that, it must be like really, really vivid and stuff like that, and kind of s you up. So they kind of they're all awake now, but like David's still like asleep, like kind of trapped in his own head, I guess. It's interesting why he didn't wake up.
Yeah, and to be honest, I couldn't quite figure out what was going on at the end. He was surrounded in his head by like a bunch of people. I don't know what quite is going on.
Whether there is personalities or powers and stuff like that, I think that's kind of what that is, and that I think is like maybe they're all shouting at him. Maybe they're fighting for control now, because he's kind of vulnerable. Because he's like the child now in his head is the child. Everything else has been shut off. So whether they're like his different personalities and they're trying to get in and involved now is
Yeah,
like.
maybe.
So maybe he wakes up and is like a different person or something like that. So I mean, the big unanswered questions again. Really, it's kind of all spinning round. The kind of big ones are who's his stepdad or dad or whatever, because you see
If
like
there, yeah,
flashes of
if there
him.
is a dad at all, yeah.
What's the significance of the book, The Angriest Kid in the World? Because I mean, they keep focusing on it, even more so this episode, and you kind of see the little like cosplay guys stalking them. And what's with this? What's the significance of the yellow-eyed person?
Right, and also, what did the Institute really want from him? Because we heard about apparently there's a war going on, and she said she didn't want to use him as a weapon, but personally, I don't really buy that. So
Yeah, because Sid kind of calls her out. She's like, "Oh, you want to use him?" And she's like, "No, I want to make him whole first, then use him." It's like let him make up his own mind. So I guess it must be like the humans uprising against the mutants. I guess what Magneto's always been kind of talking about.
yeah, what I suppose would be an uprise with it would be subjection. But yeah, I probably that's what I assume it would be, but who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want to guess anything on this show because I'll probably be wrong.
Yeah, literally, it's like giving away nothing. It's just adding more to it, getting more in depth with the different things, and just giving away no answers. Any other things that aroused your intention or plot lines or anything like that?
No, I think we got them all.
Yeah. Um, Sid's like hair. Do you know she's got that orange bow in it?
Not really, but go on.
She always wears a little orange bow in it. I don't know why, but that kept grabbing my attention this episode. I don't know why, but it was like really bothering me. Whether
I
that's
did notice that. Go on.
whether it's just like her thing and she has her hair like that and she thinks it looked nice or whatever, but literally it keeps like getting my attention.
Maybe we might find out later. You never know what's important. I did notice there was a lot of X imagery in
Oh
this.
yeah, the little window with
Yeah.
the X. Yeah, I clocked that.
And the table they were sitting at as well was an X. A lot of it in the episode. That must be relevant somehow. I don't know why. Maybe it's just there for window dressing, or maybe it'll actually come to mean something later on.
Maybe the old woman's really his mum in real life, and like her husband was Charles Xavier.
Maybe.
Yeah, telling that amazing story about the crane and whatever. Let's talk numbers.
8.5.
Yeah, I'll probably give it the same. It's very engaging. Again, it's moving along the storyline. It's not kind of getting bogged down. There's, I think maybe a few answers it could give me. I mean, I'm intrigued what's going on with like the scientist and nice-looking girl. Whether they are actually the same person, or stuff like that, or whether I literally did imagine that. There's obviously other things I'd like to be answered, but they're moving on at a good pace. It was kind of funny, I guess, the whole cake scene and stuff like that. So yeah, it was interesting as well. They talked about how when they swap bodies, they were kind of doing stuff like that, talking about dare I say it, genitalia. So I
Mhm.
mean, with that, we'll end the episode. I'm Sam,
I'm Matt.
and this has been the Superhero Hub.